हाँ, शुरू
हाँ
किया
हो गया
आपने
सर, रिकॉर्डिंग स्टार्ट हो गया।
स्टॉप कर दीजिए अभी।
हाँ सर।
At the same time, she rendered her services of teaching at Dayanand Law College, Latur, and also at University PG Law Department. She has presented and published more than 25 research articles in state, national, as well as international conferences. She has been invited on various platforms for guidance like Chartered Accountants Institute District Court for students appearing for JMFC exams. For academic excellence, she has been awarded with Gunwant Vidyarthi Puraskar. Later on, in 2001 and 2002, she has been awarded with Vishesh Avinya Puraskar in 2015, Maheshwari Nari Samman Puraskar, and also with Gaurav Puraskar of Aurangabad district. We are very eager to hear you, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello.
Over to you, ma'am. Andani, ma'am, over to you.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes. So let's start. And first and foremost, I would like to say very, very good afternoon to all the participants of the webinar organized by IQAC Department, the BGE Society, Sri Natmal Goenka Law College of Kollam, and positive efforts taken by Principal Sir, Professor Shilpa Sarda ma'am, Professor S.R. Sonare ma'am, and Mahesh sir, and the staff and the technical team. As we are seeing, in the last 2 months, we are forced to go online. And due to this pandemic, yet it has opened a new era or an avenue for us. And we are keeping in touch with all our dear students through this. A very unique topic has been given to me today, and very much interesting and challenging too. So about today's topic, intellectual property rights. This will be an 1 hour session, and I will be doing my PPT presentation first, and some questions from the chat box you might be sending me. I'll try to answer at least 2 of those questions. Suppose if any questions are pending before that, after that also I'll respond after the session. And you can also send me the emails. The email address is also mentioned over on the last screen. So basically this session is meant for the students, so might not be knowing much about the intellectual property. So I would be starting with the very basic level to go up to the fair understanding of what are the various types of IPR, what is the significance, and how to go about the protecting of the same. Whether the time, within the time we will be try to make it. So let's start the actual presentation now. Just a second. Yes, this is the acknowledgement. My sir, can you remove me from the co-host because the screen is giving too many of icons right now. There are some notifications on the screen. Remove me from the co-host, please. Mahesh sir. At the very first, you can see the acknowledgement. After this, there are contents. Is I'm audible?
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes. So we will come to the contents now. So, sir, still some icons are there on the screen. Will you help you out?
Yes,
Will
madam.
you help me out? The icons are there on the screen. Some
Oh, just a
notifications
second.
are there from your side.
Yeah, just a second.
Yes, yes. So we will come to the contents now. Today we will try to go to the basic meaning and definition of the IPR. Then after that, we will know all about the importance and the classification and international system recognition for protecting the IPR, specifically the Indian laws governing the IPR. And we will know what are the infringements are there and how we address through the remedies. And towards the end of the webinar, by concluding and make you understand better about the IPR. So you can see in the picture and come to know that what I want to say. That if you don't see a problem with this question, you need this class. As the question is, all I asked was, can I protect my copyrighted trademark? So we will come to the meaning of IPR. Before that, I would like to say that we are into a new era now. Okay. And now we can say that science and technology have changed the world of the term property. Earlierly, only the tangible properties were treated as property, like land, vehicle, machinery, furniture, etc. But now in the era, new things have come in the list of property, which shall be treated as intellectual property. And this intellectual property has a unique feature. It does not require any huge amount of money or even a big place as compared to the tangible property. In short, it can be said as it is a combination of Saraswati and Lakshmi, where people can earn money through applying his mind. That means those who have knowledge can also earn now. So a lot of people through this intellectual capacity have become millionaire in the world. Bill Gates is the best example to give here. He was not born with a silver spoon, we can say, but became a multimillionaire only through his intellectual power. Technology has changed the world of communication now. See, if we go back in the history, we can see the computer used to be so huge and noisy. And now we have come into the era where we have so slim and slick computers. Even same with the mobile phones also. Earlierly, we used to have Nokia phones with a joystick. And now these all things have become history. And how it is possible then? So it is just a creation of mind. So this intellectual property basically requires thinking, reading, ideologies, along with the hard work. And another question arises here is, why do we like to protect it? So before going to the detailed discussion of this kind of property, we will have to know that the originality and the novelty or the innovations will be stopped if they are not benefited for the long term to the person who is investigating, who is inventing it, who has done the novelty. So yet it has to be protected. And in this way, the intellectual property rights has come. So you can see the definition on the screen, that what are the intellectual property. Okay, so basically, intellectual properties refer to legal rights. The rights granted with the aim of recognizing and protecting the development of creativeness of the human intellect. Intellectual property law is the thing that is to provide the protection. Basically, the law provides the protection. It creates an exclusive right of the creator over its use. So they allow right of the owner to stop others taking their creations. This preserves the integrity and resolves the exploitation and presentations of those creations for the right owners. Then they will come to the next, that is the definition of IPR. So according to the Business Dictionary, IPR is a right that is had by a person or a company to have exclusive rights to use its own plan, ideas, or intangible assets without the worry of competition, at least for a specific period of time. These rights can include copyright, patents, trademarks, and trade secrets. These rights can be enforced by a court via a lawsuit. The reason for intellectual property is to encourage innovation without the fear that a competitor will steal the idea and or take credit of it. If we will come to the importance of IPR in today's intellectual area, India has shown a considerable growth in its research and development. Intellectual property rights provide due recognition to creators and inventors, which ensures material reward, and also it ensures the availability of original products, as there is huge competition in the market. And with the trade related aspects, intellectual property right is there, that is TRIPS. Then agreement of World Trade Organization is there, that is WTO, and the intellectual property rights again the authority to enforce the law at international also. Now here is the best example to say that what are the intellectual property rights. See the example. Let's say we take this example of the laundry machine. So here we can see there is a registered company name, that is Robert Bosch GmbH. See, its commercial name is Bosch. Domain name is bosch-industrial.com. So already we have some of the IPRs to see here right now. Towards the left side, you can see the trademark. You can see towards the things that the trademarks which have been used from years together. That is the trade name, the graphical, the symbols, the letters that represent. Then you can also see that there is a design. See towards the right side, the design of the body. Then after that, you can see that the patent, that the engine and the drum is being patented. And even you can see about the copyright, which is the user manual, because everyone has a different user manual. Okay. So I think so in short, you have got the basic idea about the intellectual property right. Now we will come to the classifications of IPR. And basically, you can see copyright, patent, trademark, geographical indications, design rights, plant varieties. These are some of the things. But if we distinctively divide them, intellectual property will be comprised of two things. First one is the copyrights and related rights, which can be also called as literary and artistic works. And the second one is industrial property or industrial right. If we talk about the industrial right, industrial property describes physical matters that is the product of an idea or concept for commercial purposes. And how they are protected? They are protected by trademarks, by patent objects, by trade secrets, by geographical indications, and there are much more like layout designs and industrial designs. And about the copyright and related rights, that is what I said you, literary and artistic works. They are the books, paintings, musical compositions, plays, movie, radio, TV programs, performance, and other artistic works, which are to be protected by the Copyright Act. Now we will come towards the very first, that is the copyright. And copyright is nothing but the right to copy. Right to copy is permitted by the authors or the authority. To whom they will call the author then? The person who creates things. It may be artist, the literature, sculpture, musician, movie, drama, painting. Here the main purpose is to protect the originality of the author. Original means very newly originated and was not there anywhere before it. Originality means just requires one's idea put into expression. This is very much important because it cannot be said that originality was into the idea, because the idea has to be proved by expression. Suppose we take here the example of from the movie Mr. India. In that, there was an idea just that wearing of some spectacles, the person disappears, wearing some hand wrist watch, and the person disappears. So that is just an idea. But when such ideas come into real expressions, then that can be copyrighted. The expressions may be in the arrangements also sometimes. If we arrange something in some manner, that can also be said as expression, because there are various authors who might be writing the law books. Suppose we take the example of constitutional law books. So the original word will be the same because the source will be the same, but it will differ by the how he narrates it, how the author narrates the thing, how he arranges the thing. So this is the expression. Even the same cases of the dictionary. No one can generate new words, but there is an author for the dictionary. As every author puts some different signs, pictures, sometimes some phonetics are also used there. So the author here has the right to publish, or he also has the right to sell it to the publisher, whoever gets the copyright. So keep in mind, when we purchase a book, we have a right to use, and we can even gift it to somewhere, but we cannot make a copy of the book.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am. Your
Yes.
voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking.
Breaking. Okay. But everything is connected actually.
Okay.
Now it is okay. Now it is okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now is it okay?
Also not visible,
yeah.
ma'am.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Ma'am,
Okay.
PPT is also not visible.
PPT not visible.
No, actually
Yes,
it is
ma'am.
visible but not clear.
But actually it is through the screening, and earlier how it was? Was it clear?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Towards next page we will see, because maybe there are no more pictures, I think so. Because here it is a broadband, and everything is working properly basically. I'll see in the next slide, suppose, if we can do anything. Yes. So we'll come back. That is, I was talking on, as we are not purchasing the license of the book. We are just purchasing the copy. We can use it. It's not the part of the book. We cannot reproduce it. And see, you will always see on the books, it is written that there is a notice, not a single part should be reproduced without the prior permission. That means we purchase only what the tangible things. That means right to use only. And photocopy is the clear violation of the right of author. Even the same thing applies to the musicians. Music also cannot be copied, but nowadays pirated copies are being purchased, and because they are available at cheap rates, and they are being used without licensing. Years, but one has to keep in mind, years and years are dedicated by such authors and musicians. So for a person, you can record for yourself, but it should not be uploaded anywhere on YouTube, or it should not be commercialized. So basically, the copyright does not require any kind of novelty or uniqueness, as it is there into the patent. It is just a innovation. It is just a creation of mind. Okay, and then we will see what is not covered in the copyright. These are some of the things that was the Copyright Act came into 1957. Then it has been amended up to now 5 times. The most recent amendment was being done in the 2012. And you can see this kind of letters is been used. The symbol which is been used is C with the circle, which shows it is a copyrighted product. And year of publication of the work also is mentioned along with the copyright work. Then if you go to the duration of the copyright product, there are different terms of protection of this copyright. The copyright in lifetime of author, and plus it is 60 years thereafter. Regarding the broadcasting organization, has right with respect to their broadcast for 25 years. Regarding the performers have some special rights in relation to their performance for 50 years. And the posthumous publication, the right stands for a period of 60 years. So these are some things, that is the copyright assignment and licensing. The copyright in India is a ownership right given by law to an author or the creator of the work. There are additional rights that come under the copyright framework, which allows reproducing work, communication of work to public, translation of work, and adaptation of work. Even Section 18 subclause 1 states that any prospective owner of future work may assign his/her copy. Copyright licensing agreement gives the license to produce the work on the basis of terms and conditions of agreement. The license agreement can either be voluntarily or compulsorily depending upon the nature of the work. So your license means the transfer of interest in a copyright. And what is not covered under the copyright, if we talk about, then the ideas, facts, recipes, work lacking the originality, like telephone books, names, titles. These are some of the things which are not covered under the copyright. Now, the other ingredient of this intellectual property right is patent. So what is patent? Patent is available for inventions relating to both process and product. In India, Patent Act was enacted in 1970. Rajgopal Iyengar Committee was appointed to examine the questions of revision of the patent law. And today's scenario, if we see, the concept of patent has been influenced by many factors. National, economic fluctuations, and even due to the international treaties, which are Paris Convention, Budapest Treaty, Uruguay Round, then TRIPS, then GATT, PCT, and some more are there. So basically, new amendment in 2005 is made recently, and it brings the Indian Patent Act inconsistent with the TRIPS agreement. One more thing to share here is regarding the current thing, that is the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, that is DIPP, has amended Patents Rule 2003 with effect from 1st December 2017, called as the Patent Amendment Rule 2017. The definition of startup rules, Section 2FD, has been substituted with a new definition, and a more liberal definition has been given, which you can see through this script. I think so. patent, if we talk about the patent rights, patent is given to a product with a novelty, and it has been innovative. It has to be innovative, as well as it should also have industrial application of product. So mere modification, simply modifying, does not be treated as invention, because sometimes some people just modify the things, but it cannot be an invention. It can be called as just workshop modification. Here you cannot claim patent. Workshop modification can be made through various ways, and just changing some of the aspects of the thing, the workshop modification are being made. Suppose there is a scooter and the kick is towards the right side, and the person is putting the same kick towards the left side. So here he cannot get the patent. Only he has done is what is the workshop modification. The inventions is needed to be utilized worldwide together. So with it, it is required to be protected worldwide. You can see here some examples of patentable items, that is computer software and hardware, chemical formulas and processes, genetically engineered bacteria, plants, animals, drugs, medieval devices, then medical devices, furniture design, jewelry, fabric and fabric design, and musical instruments. If we go for the importance of patent, it creates an exclusive right, and the person can get a strong market position through it, and even higher returns can be made on the investment. Opportunity to license and sell of the invention can also be get to the patentee, and the positive image of the enterprise also comes forward. You can see the term of patent, which is shown on this slide, that is 20 years from the date of filing of patent application, and the renewal fees is to be required to be paid annually to keep the patent in force, and the restoration is also possible within 18 months from the date if it lapsed. But here the thing is, as I said you, it has to be protected and protected worldwide. As in one of the case where the Apple sued the HTC company over the iPhone patent, they filed a complaint with the US International Trade Commission alleging that the Taiwanese company is infringing 20 Apple patents related to the iPhone. In that, the Steve Jobs had, that is the of the Apple company CEO, said in a statement, the statement how he said is, we think competition is healthy, but the competitor should create their own originality and technology and not steal the ours. Then towards the last area of the patent, here we come to the thing, that is the exceptions to the patent, which things cannot be given patent in
नमस्कार।
India.
पेटेंट फाइल करने से पहले ये बात जानना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि कौन सी चीज़ों का पेटेंट फाइल इंडिया में नहीं हो सकता। भारत में किन चीज़ों के लिए आप पेटेंट एप्लीकेशन नहीं भेज सकते। तो आइए देखते हैं सबसे पहला पॉइंट, फ्रिवलस और अननेचुरल इन्वेंशंस, यानी कि किसी ने एक नया प्रोसीजर निकाला, अ प्रोसेस और प्रोसीजर टू डिले सनराइज यानी सनराइज को डिले करने के लिए एक नया प्रोसीजर, तो ये तो अननेचुरल इन्वेंशन हो गया ना। सनराइज को भला कोई डिले कर सकता है? नहीं, तो इसका पेटेंट भी नहीं मिल सकता ऑब्वियसली। सेकंड पॉइंट, व्हाट यू कैन नॉट पेटेंट इन इंडिया, ए पोटेंशियली हार्मफुल इन्वेंशन। मान लीजिए आपने एक नया प्रोडक्ट निकाला है जिससे एग्जाम में आसानी से कॉपी की जा सकती है, तो उसका पेटेंट नहीं मिल सकता आपको भारत में नहीं मिल सकता डेफिनेटली। थर्ड वन, डिस्कवरी ऑफ अ साइंटिफिक प्रिंसिपल। मान लीजिए डॉक्टर कपूर ने एक नया लॉ निकाला है, कपूर 6th लॉ करके, तो वो तो साइंटिफिक प्रिंसिपल बन गया, उसका पेटेंट नहीं हो सकता, पेटेंट नहीं मिल सकता इंडिया में उसका। एंड आई डोंट थिंक किसी और देश में भी मिल सकता है, बट लेट्स स्टिक टू व्हाट वी हैव हियर इन इंडिया। भारत में क्या पेटेंट नहीं हो सकता वो पहले देखते हैं। फोर्थ वन, द मियर डिस्कवरी ऑफ द न्यू फॉर्म ऑफ अ नोन सब्सटेंस, यानी कि वो जो सब्सटेंस है पहले से लोगों को पता है वो क्या चीज़ है, क्या सब्सटेंस है, और आपने हल्का सा उसमें कुछ चेंज कर दिया, मॉडिफिकेशन कर दिया, तो नया फॉर्म आया, बट इट डज नॉट डू एनी ग्रेट वैल्यू एडिशन, सो दैट कैन बी पेटेंटेड। देन नेक्स्ट वन, अ सब्सटेंस ऑब्टेन्ड बाय मियर एड मिक्सचर, मान लीजिए आपने एक ग्लास भर पानी ले लिया और उसमें नमक डाल दिया, तो उसका पेटेंट नहीं मिल सकता क्योंकि वो एड मिक्सचर हो गया। मियर रीअरेंजमेंट ऑफ नोन डिवाइसेस, उसका भी पेटेंट नहीं मिल सकता। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एक सेलफोन है जिसका डिज़ाइन पेटेंटेड है और एक खास किस्म का कोई फैब्रिक है, जो भी पेटेंट, वो फैब्रिक भी पेटेंटेड है, वो मटेरियल भी पेटेंटेड है, तो उन दोनों को मिला के यानी आप एक नया पेटेंट नहीं ले सकते, तो दैट्स नॉट अलाउड। नेक्स्ट वन, एग्रीकल्चरल और हॉर्टिकल्चरल मेथड्स। मान लीजिए आप खेती कर रहे हैं और आपने किसी नए प्रोसीजर को इन्वेंट किया है, तो उसका पेटेंट नहीं मिल सकता भारत में। और ये अच्छी बात है, क्योंकि नहीं तो क्या होगा, एग्रीकल्चरल हॉर्टिकल्चर में लोग फटाफट इन्वेंशंस कर लेंगे और किसानों को कहेंगे हाँ आप मुझे 10 लाख दे दो, ये 1 लाख दे दो, 50,000 दे दो, मेरी फीस है, लाइसेंस करना पड़ेगा। तो वो नहीं है, क्योंकि हमारा देश, वी आर स्टिल प्रिडोमिनेंटली एन एग्रीकल्चरल इकोनॉमी। तो इट्स रियली गुड कि इन चीज़ों का पेटेंट भारत में नहीं मिल सकता। तो वंस अगेन, एग्रीकल्चरल और हॉर्टिकल्चरल मेथड्स कैनॉट बी पेटेंटेड इन इंडिया। अभी मेडिकल और सर्जिकल ट्रीटमेंट प्रोसीजर भी इट इज इनएलिजिबल, यू कैनॉट पेटेंट अप्लाई फॉर पेटेंट फॉर इट इन इंडिया, एंड दैट्स अगेन अ गुड थिंग। नहीं तो इट वुड हैव लेड टू द एक्सप्लॉयटेशन ऑफ पेशेंट्स। सो एनी मेडिकल और सर्जिकल प्रोसीजर कैनॉट बी पेटेंटेड इन इंडिया। प्लांट्स और एनिमल्स इन होल आर पार्ट देयर ऑफ, यानी कि प्लांट्स यानी कि सारे जो फल फूल पेड़ पौधे हैं, एनिमल्स यानी कि कोई भी जानवर, तो उसका ऑब्वियसली पेटेंट नहीं मिल सकता। नेक्स्ट वन, मैथमेटिकल मेथड्स, बिजनेस मेथड्स एंड सर्टन कंप्यूटर प्रोग्राम्स। अभी मैथमेटिकल मेथड्स और बिजनेस मेथड्स पेटेंट नहीं आप कर सकते हैं, तो ऑब्वियस है, लेकिन कंप्यूटर प्रोग्राम्स, ये जो लास्ट वाला पॉइंट है ना, उसके ऊपर बहुत डिबेट चल रहा था रिसेंटली, तो आपको देखना होगा लेटेस्ट उनका रेगुलेशन क्या है। So as of now, I think as far as I can see, it is not patentable in India, but maybe it may change next month. So you have to keep checking the Indian Patent Office website. Then next one, certain forms of literary and artistic creations. तो आपने मान लीजिए कोई ऐसी आर्टिस्टिक चीज़ बनाई हो जिससे आपके कला का प्रदर्शन होता है, तो या फिर कोई किताब लिखी हो, तो उसका पेटेंट नहीं हो सकता। हाँ, किताब अगर लिखी है तो उसका कॉपीराइट हो सकता है, लेकिन कॉपीराइट ऑफिस दैट्स अ डिफरेंट थिंग, इट्स नॉट द सेम एज पेटेंट। ऑल्दो दोनों ना इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राइट्स के नीचे ही आते हैं, फिर भी दैट इज नॉट द सेम एज पेटेंटिंग। So, certain forms of literary and artistic creations cannot be patented. Next one, mental acts, processes for playing games, etc. तो मान लीजिए आपने एक नया तरीका निकाला है शतरंज खेलने का, चेस खेलने का, या फिर नया तरीका निकाला है वो जो क्या रहता है, ताश के पत्ते, कार्ड गेम्स खेलने का, तो उसका पेटेंट नहीं मिल सकता। फिर मान लीजिए क्रिकेट आप खेल रहे हो, तो उसका भी एक नया कोई तरीका निकले, तो इन सब चीज़ों का पेटेंट भारत में नहीं मिल सकता। नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, प्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन। तो मान लीजिए अभी आप ये वीडियो देख रहे हैं, तो मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, आई एम प्रेजेंटिंग इन्फॉर्मेशन। उसी की तरीके से लोग पावर पॉइंट बना के प्रेजेंटेशन करते हैं बोर्ड मीटिंग्स में, ग्रुप मीटिंग्स में, तो उन सब चीज़ों का पेटेंट नहीं मिल सकता। ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कॉपीराइट हो सकता है, लेकिन पेटेंट नहीं हो सकता। और कॉपीराइट एक दूसरी चीज़ है, तो दैट इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग। सो एज फार एज पेटेंट इज कंसर्न, प्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन दैट इट कैन बी पेटेंटेड इन इंडिया। नेक्स्ट वन, सेकंड लास्ट पॉइंट, टोपोग्राफी ऑफ इंटीग्रेटेड सर्किट्स। आप में से जो कोई इंजीनियर हो, तो इफ यू हैव मेड इन इंटीग्रेटेड सर्किट्स, द टोपोग्राफी ऑफ दोज इंटीग्रेटेड सर्किट्स कैनॉट बी पेटेंटेड इन इंडिया। द लास्ट वन, ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज। तो मान लीजिए ये जो बहुत सारे लोग मिट्टी से ये पॉट्स बनाते हैं, या फिर ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज में और क्या आता है, वो ट्रेडिशनल वेज ऑफ क्यूरिंग सर्टन डिसीजेज, वो सारी चीज़ें इंडिया में पेटेंट नहीं हो सकती, भारत में उन चीज़ों का पेटेंट नहीं मिल सकता। तो ये सारे पॉइंट्स थे। आप अगर ये वीडियो आपके फ्रेंड्स के साथ शेयर करना चाहो तो ज़रूर कीजिए, ताकि लोगों को पता चले कि भारत में कौन सी चीज़ें पैटेंट नहीं हो सकती। और हम एक दूसरा वीडियो बनाने वाले हैं जिसमें हम आपको बताएंगे कि भारत में अगर आपको पैटेंट फाइल करना है तो उसकी प्रोसीजर क्या है, उसके लिए रिकमेंडेशंस क्या है। तो हमारा ये वीडियो देखने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, एंड हैव अ नाइस डे। आपका दिन शुभ हो। थैंक यू, धन्यवाद, जय हिंद।
Hello.
Ma'am. Now,
Yes. Am I audible now, sir?
yes,
Yes,
ma'am, you are
yes.
audible now.
Yes. Yes. We'll come to the other ingredient of the intellectual property now, which is trademark. Trademark. The meaning itself comes in the word trademark, that is trade and the mark. It is used in the commercial activity for the trading purpose. The mark is a sign, signature, number, symbol, sound, packaging labels, taglines, logos, or a combination of this. For example, there can be taglines like the McDonald's tagline is I am loving it. Then if you see the Nike, just do it. Coca-Cola, it's the real thing. Even you can see the LIC slogan is there, Zindagi ke saath bhi, Zindagi ke baad bhi. So in simple words, the trademark denotes the identification of the producer. But one product is available in the market, and at the same time, many producers are producing the same goods. So it is for the buyer's choice. So the producer puts a particular mark. The mark means, as we have already discussed, symbol, color, sign, etc. So one can satisfy himself while purchasing. Even the packaging material provides a benefit to the trademark holder. Quality is also maintained, is always a biased assumption actually. But I will say here it is hypothetical. It is not about the quality of the thing. So deceptive similarity confusion gets removed somewhat, we can say. But in the same way, we have some quality marks and they are different. So trademark is different and quality mark is different. If I will give you some examples of the trademark, then it is BIS, ISO, Eggmark, then ISI, red and green dot, Hallmark, then FASSI, BEE, star rating. These are some of the things. These are called as qualitative marks. And this trademark is not the guarantee about the quality, but it is hypothetical belief of the buyers usually that they are getting from a good producer. So the confusion is always there. Once I had seen on the refrigerator, I think so it was Whirlpool or something, and there was a 5-star mark on it. But after carefully seeing that, I came to know that that was not the BEE star rating, which is a quality mark. But it was just 5-star which was being given there by the company itself. So in this way, the consumer can get into confusion. And now how it can be protected? So there has to be registration. And it is only the conclusive proof, basically. And even the unregistered trademarks are there. You can see here, the R with a circle is a registered trademark and TM which is unregistered trademark. So the unregistered trademark are one that are not registered under the Act, but still they also get protected by means of some other way, like some common law tort of passing off. But here the goodwill and reputation is to be considered. And there are a lot of even the cases of litigations also. So instead of going in all the such things, it is always safer to get this trademark registered. And the term of registration of trademark is 10 years. It may be renewed for a further period of 10 years on the payment of the prescribed renewal fee. Then non-users of a registered trademark for a continuous period of 5 years is a ground for cancellation of registration of such trademark at the behest of any aggrieved party. Here you can also see again the slide which I have already seen about the DIPP, that the statutory protection of trademark is administered by the Controller General of Patent, Design and Trademark. a government agency which reports to the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. The law of trademark deals with the mechanism of registration, protection of trademark, and even prevention of fraudulent trademark. Now we'll have some other areas of this, that is the geographical indication. The Geographical Indication Act came into 1999. That is called as also geographical indication. Let's have some simple idea about the geographical indication. From here, the definition point of view, you can see the geographical indication of goods, that is Registration and Protection Act 1999 was enacted to register and protect geographical indica of goods that originate from or are manufactured in a particular territory, region, or even locality. Here is a definition given on the same according to section 2, subclause 1, subclause E of the Act. Geographical indication has been defined as an indication which identifies such goods as agricultural goods, natural goods, or manufactured goods as originating or manufactured in the territory of a country or a region or locality in that territory, where a given quality, reputation, or other characteristics of such goods is essentially attributable to its geographical origin, and in case where such goods are manufactured, goods, one of the activities of either the production or of the processing or preparation of the goods concerned take place in such territory, region, or locality as the case may be. So in simple words, we can say that we have different types of diversity in land also. Particular type of fertility and the areas are there, and they also have particular type of agricultural productions also. It may be manufactured also, and it can be agricultured also. But there is a unique variety that denotes a particular area, and the producer of the area should be benefited. So those producers are given the right to sale with a GI mark, and the association is being made, and the persons who are into that are being made the members there. So we can say it has its own unique feature. We cannot grow apples in Maharashtra, and in the same way, Alfonso mango cannot be grown in Kashmir. So you can see that some of the famous examples also over here, the Kolhapuri chappal from Maharashtra. Then see, the Darjeeling tea became the first GI tag product in India. It was in 2004-2005. And the geographical indication registry has total 361 registered in India up to September 2019. But there is an update in this, that is a 618 GI products is been shown right now in the Wikipedia. And some recent GI also been added, which we will be discussing in the next slide. So a GI is registered for an initial period of 10 years and which may be renewed from time to time. So here you can see the Alfonso mangoes, the Shahi lychees from Bihar, and even there are a lot of things. The Tirupati laddus is the very best example. You can take the example of Banarsi saris. These are some of the famous GI tags like Agra Petha, and you can see here in the center there is a certificate. How the certificate is been issued by the government of India regarding the geographical indication, and you can also see that recently I will say that after the years of controversy, a sweet success is got to the rasgullas. Okay, so the GI certificate is being given. After the Kolkata, now Odisha also gets the GI tag. Apart from that, you can see the recent thing which has been added, that is a GI tag is been given to the black rice of Manipur, and even the terracotta is been given the GI tag. It is from Gorakhpur. So we will come to the very next aspect, that is the design. So the term design under the Design Act is defined, that is the features of shape, any configuration, pattern, ornament, or composition of lines or colors which is applied to two-dimensional or three-dimensional or in both the forms using any process including manual, chemical, or mechanical, separate or combined, which is finished article appeal to or judged solely by the eye. So these design laws are regulated by the Design Act 2000, which is called as Industrial Design Protection in India, the Design Act 2000. Earlierly, the designs used to be governed by the Design Act 1911. And we can see that the design is nothing but an design of the thing is made in such a way the object is to be protected. That is, the original design has to be protected. So there has to be some novelty. The design must be unique. A prior publication is not acceptable. Making application of design to an article, and the design must not be contrary to order and morality. Now, I will give you a very simple example on this point, that it is to be applied to a particular article which is manufactured by the in the industrial process. Suppose I will give you an example. Suppose there is a product, for example, a glass. If we take an example of a glass, it is a plain glass, suppose, and someone have made it a curved shape design glass. So is it a new product? The question always comes to the mind of the student. Shall I go for the patent? Shall I file the patent, or shall I file the design registration? Because he has made something different out of it. And the people are also ready, because the plain glass is very simple thing and the curved glass is something very attractive. So the new product design relates to some technical inventions, we can say. If new design merely it is artistic, okay, merely the look difference is being made. But if we see the performance of the glass, it works in the same way the old glass used to be. So then one should go for the design registration for this. And design has its own value because it is always attractive and appealing. And in this also, the person can get a good market. So here, the term of registration is where a proprietor applies for the registration of the design, he shall automatically get copyrights in design for a period of 10 years from the date of registration. This period can be extended if the proprietor wants to continue with the design. Then there is one more area, that is semiconductor integrated circuit layout design. This has come in the year 2000, which gives recognition to a new form of intellectual property, namely the layout design used in semiconductor integrated circuits. And the Semiconductor Integrated Circuits Layout Design Act protects the original inherently distinctive layout design that have not been previously commercially exploited, and the registration is necessary over here. And the protection of 10 years period is provided to the layout design. You can see how the registration of layout design, and you can see the layout in the picture also. The layout design can be registered if they are original, distinctive, capable of being distinguishable, and other registered layout designs, and if they have not been commercially exploited for more than 2 years before the date of application of the registration, because it has to be very new. Now we will come to one more important area in the IPR, that is plant varieties and the farmer's right. As you can see, the Protection of Plant Varieties Act 2001, which is called as PPVERA, which is introduced in the intellectual property protection in the Indian agriculture. The PVP Act has been legislated under the obligation of Article 27, Subclause 3, Subclause D of the TRIPS Agreement. It has been made or legislated due to the obligation which we have through the TRIPS Agreement, which mandates for the protection of plants either by patent or by an effective system. And what can be the effective system here is the sui generis, that is of its own kind, the uniqueness of the plant. It has to be preserved somewhere. So to establish an effective system of protection of plant varieties, the right of farmers and the plant breeders to encourage the development of new varieties of plants. The breeders will have exclusive right to produce, sell, market, distribute, import, or export the protected variety. This use any of the registered variety under the Act for conducting experiments or research. There is research is being taking place at Jalna. Mahiko is there, who is doing research on various seed varieties. Then this act also seeks to allow IPR protection on seeds of all agricultural crops. That is the you can see it has to be the criteria of registration. It has to be novel, distinct, uniform, stable, and the duration is mentioned here. For trees, it is 18 years from the date of registration of the variety. Then for crops, it is 15 years from the date of registration, and for extant varieties, that is 15 years from the date of notification of the variety by the central government under Section 5 of the Seeds Act 1966. After that, the Seed Act 2004 has also come, but due to the time restraint, we are not going to so deep into this topic. Now we'll come to some more important area. One more thing to discuss over here. There was also a fight against the patents on neem patent, then basmati rice, and these are some of the things also, but the time restraint doesn't allow to discuss on this more. Come to the international system for protecting IPR. So there are international systems which define, protect, and enforce intellectual property. Some are international treaties and some are international bodies and international organizations. If we come to the very first aspect, that is the trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights, that is TRIPS. The TRIPS agreement was being made in 1994, and it was established a minimum level, that is to harmonize intellectual property law and to adopt by all the members of the World Trade Organization. It was been adopted by all the members of World Trade Organization. If we come to the next thing, that is World Intellectual Property Organization, that is WIPO. The WIPO Convention is the multilateral treaty that established the World Intellectual Property Organization. Is signed at Stockholm, Sweden. Is a specialized agency of the United Nations. It protects the protection of intellectual property throughout the world, and it had its headquarters in Geneva and Switzerland. Now we come to the next one, that is World Customs Organization. It is an intergovernmental organization and it has its headquarters at Brussels, Belgium. Then we'll come to the next, that is the United Nations Commission on International Trade Law, which is called as UNICITRAL. Is the core legal body. This is a core legal body of the United Nations system in the field of international trade law, and with a mandate to further the progressive harmonization and unification of the law of international trade. Then towards the next, it is World Trade Organization. As all know, it is an intergovernmental organization and it is basically to regulate the trade between the nations. Then towards the last, it is the European Union. It is a political and economic union with a 27 member states, and these are the variations with respect to the enforcement of rights at the apart from the local level. We will come to the very next thing, that is the infringement. So here the WTO has set up the dispute settlement units also for this, but first we should know what constitutes the infringement. So any reproduction, use, distribution, performance, etc. of the work without the permission of the owner. So here an intellectual property infringement is the infringement of violation of an intellectual property right. Companies or individuals who infringe an intellectual property right produce, counterfeit or pirate products and services. Therefore, an intellectual property infringement may for instance be one of the following. It can be into the copyright, then patent, then trademark, design or plant variety, any kind of infringement. It also covers this infringement even covers the identical things or even the substantial similar reproductions also. Now we will come to the remedies. So as we very well know that it is very important, the remedies as a point of view, that is the protection has to be there for the intellectual property, otherwise there will be no development. So here the protection of intellectual property is available under both civil as well as criminal law mechanisms. But in particularly criminal remedy is much effective a medium of protection of rights, particularly intellectual property rights as compared to the civil remedy. Even though intellectual property is an umbrella term, but remedy by way of criminal action is provided only for trademarks and copyrights. The relevant provisions under which criminal action in respect of infringement of copyright has been initiated are laid down in the Chapter 8 of the Copyright Act 1957. Section 63 also explains about the Copyright Act 1957 that deals with the offense and infringement of the copyright and other rights conferred by the Act, which you can see and read on the slide. And even the set term of imprisonment and fine can be enhanced under the provision of Section 63A of the Copyright Act. Then there is it is also mentioned regarding the Trademarks Act 1999 also provides for the criminal remedy under Section 103 and 104. Then next to that there is enhanced punishment under Section 105 of the Act. Then penalties in the form of imprisonment and fine are imposed for willful infringement and in other acts, that is the Semiconductor Integrated Circuit Layout Design Act 2000. Now we will come regarding remedies. I would like to say again one thing, that even pending matter should be disposed of very fast, as it is an intellectual thing, and the thing is that basically towards the conclusion also I would like to say that the intellectuals will keep in busy if they are going for the rights to be get. So instead of that, there should be a speedy disposal of the things. And towards the conclusion, you can see that on 26th April, every year we celebrate World Intellectual Property Day. Actually, the celebration is to promote discussion of the role of intellectual property and encouraging the innovation and creativity. And the state is liable to protect the IPR through various things. Since 1982, there is a Paris Convention. Then 1986, there is Berne Convention. There is GATE, TRIPS. We make lot of amendments also in our Act to match up with the international standards. The challenges come out only from the creating laws, not only from creating laws, but also their implications. So it is $1 million question, I can say, that who can be benefited from the legislation, because there are a lot of other things also in this area. So the law relating to intellectual property is constantly evolving all around the world, and being a relatively new concept, there are many areas which still need developing and protection of law. Towards end, I would like to say only one thing, that is the technological advancement have made job of the creator very easy, but at the same time it also have made the job of the copier also easy. So one has to be take steps into this, and even one has to take part in that. Everyone has to be duty bound to protect the IPR. Apart from this, there are some landmark judgments also. Novartis case is there, is on the issue of patent, and then after that Bajaj Auto Limited case is there, then Deere Corporation case is there, Coca-Cola case is there, which is also known as Marga War. Then Eastern Book Company's case is there, where the publisher is the law book company who is publishing law books. Then Yahoo versus Ashok Arora is also one of the famous and landmark judgments, where the plaintiff was the owner of the trademark Yahoo, the domain name yahoo.com. The definition, the defendant has used the name the yahoo.com basically, and for similar services. So here the injunction was been granted. And even at the international level, there are some case laws like Diamond versus Chakraborty. That is a historical decision. US Supreme Court considered the patentability of living microorganism over there. Then there is DC Comics versus Towel. It is a copyright case again. So these cases have a wide impact on society. They have brought major breakthroughs in the intellectual property right, I can say. So areas, I think so, intellectual property, human rights, I have tried to make it as far as simple, very simple way I have tried to make it. I think so I have reached to you. So I hope, and with this, I would like to thank everyone.
Excuse me,
Any
ma'am.
questions?
Some student. Yeah, ma'am. Shampa, please ask your question. Hello, Shampa.
Hello.
Ask your
Hello,
question.
am I audible?
Yes.
Can you please throw some light on whether intellectual property rights would fall in the domain of human rights?
Yes, I got your question. You mean to say, are intellectual property rights human rights?
Yeah.
So here it is very simple thing that a human right is available to every human being. Okay, and it is by birth, and the state protects it in the core area of the human rights. Okay, it is available against the state. Whereas if we talk about the intellectual property right, we have a right and it owes a duty to pay also, to whom the IPR is available to the person who owes the right. It is a righteous thing here, you can say. So the intellectual property right, as the name suggests, are the rights given to the inventor, which he has created to the benefit of the society out of that invention. Whereas the human rights are the rights which are given not as a matter of chance or choice, but as a matter of his being the human. So there are two domains of law, and they have evolved independently. But today, they overlap to a great extent. And why it is so? Because now we can say that the IPR are non-fundamental human rights. It's open to state interference to fulfill some human rights obligation due to the TRIPS, we can say.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Gaikwad sir.
हाँ यस
Hello.
यस
Sir.
आवाज आ रही क्या मेरी?
आ रही है सर, आ रही है.
हाँ हाँ हाँ. हेलो, good afternoon to all.
Good afternoon, sir.
I am here to give you a special notice to all participants, students, staff members, and all concerned that in the next week we are going to organize another webinar on the topic of employment opportunities in corporate sector. विद्यार्थी ऐकतात ना सगळे?
Yes, sir. All are hearing.
हो सर.
हा, तर विद्यार्थ्यांच्या पुढच्या करिअर करता आणि आजची
अमित सर,
ही
आपका ऑडिओ बंद करो.
आजची लॉकडाऊनची परिस्थिती पाहून येणाऱ्या काळात LLB कंप्लीट झालेल्या विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी रोजगाराच्या कॉर्पोरेट फील्ड मध्ये काय संधी उपलब्ध आहेत या विषयावर आपण एक पुढच्या आठवड्यात वेबिनार ठेवण्याचा प्रयोजन आहे. तरी सर्व विद्यार्थ्यांना विनंती आहे की त्यांनी येणारं ते वेबिनार सुद्धा अटेंड करावं आपल्या करिअरच्या दृष्टीने. कारण आपल्या सारख्या डिसिप्लिन्सच्या विद्यार्थ्यांना LLB कंप्लीट झालेल्या विद्यार्थ्यांकरता भविष्यातल्या संधी ज्युडिशरी मध्ये JMFC च्या किंवा APPच्या या एवढ्याच लिमिटेड माहित असतात. आणि विशेष या वेबिनारचं वैशिष्ट्य असं आहे की आपलाच एक माजी विद्यार्थी, एक स्टुडंट 2005च्या बॅचचा, जो आता सध्या मुंबईमध्ये कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर मध्ये सिनियर पोझिशनवर काम करतोय, तो आपला रिसोर्स पर्सन राहणार आहे, तो गेस्ट राहणार आहे. तर तरी सर्व विद्यार्थ्यांनी स्वतः अटेंड करावं. आपले जे मित्र आज अब्सेंट असतील त्यांनाही हा मेसेज कम्युनिकेट करावा आणि आपला रुटीन मधला मेसेज तयार करून आपल्या सगळ्यांना नंतर फॉरवर्ड करण्यात येईल. ही फक्त एक सूचना देण्यासाठी मी आलो होतो. आणि आता आभार प्रदर्शनासाठी सारडा मॅडम कडे हँड ओव्हर करतोय मी. सारडा मॅम. सारडा मॅम.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would like to express my profound gratitude to today's resource person, Professor Reena Mandhani ma'am, for such valuable guidance and for such an intellectual treat in lockdown period. I would also like to thank Berar General Education Society. I extend my gratitude to our principal, Shri G.V. Gaukar sir, for moral support and for permission of this webinar. I am happy to express vote of thanks to all my respected seniors, colleagues, administrative staff of our college who have made this webinar a grand success. Last but not the least, thank you to all the wonderful participants. Session is over now. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahesh sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mahesh sir.